All right, hey, so today I have for you a 2009 Porsche Cayenne. This is the base model, but it's in GTS Red, which is kind of a rare color combination. Along with that, it's a 3.6 liter V6 producing 290 horsepower. So yeah, not that insane. This is a fully optioned out base model, and when it comes to this, it's a great car for the price, really. I mean, it's a 10-year-old car now, and you're able to pick them up for less than $15,000 with about 100,000 miles on them, a little bit less. You maybe could find a good deal and pick one up with like 85,000 miles for 14 grand. There were a few versions of this Cayenne. There was the Cayenne Base, which started at $47,000, and went all the way up to the Cayenne Turbo S, which was $123,000. In between there was the Cayenne S, you had the Cayenne GTS, and you had the Cayenne Turbo, and then the Turbo S, which is the super high-end one, which had a lot more features. It was pretty fast. You know, especially today's standards in 2019. This is a 10-year-old car, 2009. So let me show you around. So starting off, funny thing is you get a typical Volkswagen key. Brakes all the time. You'll see that's been taped a couple times. You'll see it's missing a component. These just fall apart over time. But it's one of the first keys that kind of looks like the car itself. And with this optioned out model, you actually have keyless go. So you can just leave this in your pocket, walk right up to the car. This 2009 Porsche Cayenne is optioned out with 19-inch wheels with Continental DWS. Now, the issue with these cars is that they run a bit heavy, anywhere from 4,700 pounds to about 5,700 pounds. So what happens is, since they're so heavy, the center of the tire actually wears down. These are brand new, so we're not running in this issue yet, but it will happen eventually. With this, you have pretty good size calipers and brakes with quick change option. So you're able to just kind of pull the brakes right out of those calipers and then slide new ones in. This car needed new rotors, so these are brand new rotors. A couple options on this car would be the door step right here. It's pretty nice for being able to get into the vehicle. I'm pretty short, so kind of works. You have the optional roof rack on the top. You have a smaller sunroof. You have the silver trim, which is another option. You had couple options when it comes to the grille. This is kind of the base model grille. There was the GTS grille and the Turbo S grille. Another great feature of the Porsche Cayenne would be this ground clearance. As you can see, it's angled upwards. So you have no worries about hitting anything. This car did have the colored center crests, but they've been worn off. Obviously, people took it to the car wash and sprayed it down a little harder than what they should have. Walking around the Cayenne, you have also the optional spoiler on the roof. Nice big exhaust tips. Opening up the trunk here. Automatic power gate. Quite a bit of space. Power outlets on both sides. Apologize for the hair, my dog. Coming from the back, you also have the dual lift gate. Coming around the back, you have the doors with the optional shades. There is ambient lighting on the floor. Charger. Split seats. This does not have the full sunroof panoramic, just kind of the smaller size standard sunroof. Bose surround sound. This car does have the full leather option, so everything is really fine quilted leather. Leather dash, another option. Pretty hard to find in this model. And the car does have the Mastercar package, which gives you wood trim. I think it's pretty nice, especially on a Cayenne model. It's not really sporty, but it looks really nice, kind of holds its age well. Especially with this interior color on red, looks great. In the first gen Cayenne, you get the typical gauge cluster that you get from most Porsches with the multiple gauges all lined up. Along with the center, you have an information. So let me show you. You don't need to put the key in like most Porsches, but it's still on the left side. Going back to their racing history. Just turn the knob. You have the sunroof here. Nice seats, but they do not feature the Porsche crest. That's an additional option. That ran about $500. They also don't have the Porsche cup holders like in the 911. Instead, just hit the button and it opens up the glove box. You also have heated and cooled glove box here in case there's anything you want to store in here like a drink. You have Porsche's PCM. This is the updated model. The early 2000s and the mid 2000s looked pretty bad. It was completely outdated. This at least gives you the option for connecting your phone, a SIM card, pretty much Bluetooth, anything like that. This is kind of the base model, so you don't have Bluetooth, but you're able to kind of connect your device. With that, you have the tuner, disc, phone, info, trip. The navigation is still kind of up to date. It doesn't look that great. With this, you have different sources, disc, satellite radio. Dual zone climate control. Nice slider here with rest and controlling the vents. You have the cigarette tray. This is the automatic. They did make these in a manual transmission. Extremely rare, but very cool that you could get these in a manual transmission because these are technically off-roaders. Another option with these is when you get the higher end models like the GTS spec, they give you also the sport mode, but they give you suspension settings so you can lower and raise the suspension. With this, all you get is driving mode on the road and off-roading mode, which puts you into lower gears. You have a cup holder. You have space to actually put extra things in here. More storage. Traditionally, you'd have a USB input or a Bluetooth input in here. You don't have that in this vehicle. That's an additional option. But I do think the leather dash looks quite nice along with all the Bose speakers everywhere. You have heated mirrors. And you can also put the mirrors in. Pretty nice for parking in your garage or parking on the street. Make sure no one wipes out your mirrors. Do have steering controls here for music, sound, phone. You have a couple buttons on the back. This is the 2000 style steering wheel. The Porsche 911 had a different one. You have the Tiptronic, which is a bit slow by today's standards. Porsche updated it with the PDK a lot faster, but that did not come until 2012 when the new Cayennes came out. However, you can select gears. Also, you could just throw the thing over in Sport, which I'll show right here. And then select your gears manually as you pick. You have a Sport mode option. Well, you'll see that there's quite a bit of room. On the Porsche Cayenne, you also get Porsche traction management and stability management for off-roading. And go ahead and give it a quick rev. Sounds pretty good for a family SUV. You do have multi-function seat settings here, power seats. Now, this car has a 26-gallon fuel tank, which will be ready to go whenever you're off-roading. Decent gas mileage. we're getting in the low 20s. This car also 0 to 60 in the high 5 seconds. Overall, if you're looking for an SUV, the Porsche Cayenne is great. With a rack and pinion, unlike today's cars with the electronic steering, you have greater control over the road. With this, when you're driving and you're able to feel the road, it feels like a car. It seems like the faster you accelerate, the faster you drive in the Porsche Cayenne, it feels like a car. It doesn't feel like a big, boxy SUV. And that's great for Porsche. The fact that they were able to come out with an SUV that does not feel like an SUV. It felt like a sports car. It sounds like a sports car. Thus, I do recommend the Porsche Cayenne. It's an awesome car, great daily driver, and quite reliable, especially with the GTS Red and the options that are featured on this model. You'll definitely love it. Anyways, please make sure to comment, subscribe. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, and I'm producing content for quite a few YouTubers right now, so it's been a bit of a struggle. For example, Eddie X, I was editing for Vehicle Virgins, and I'm currently working on a video for a couple other YouTubers right now. Hope you enjoyed this quick walk around. Thanks for watching.